This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, what's going on?
Hey, John, it's good. It's like things are like crazy and all that. Hey, we're finally out of the trash fire that is 2020. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like its embers aren't gonna like start like kicking up like some crazy stuff during like early bits of 2021. But hey, like new year, new hope, new best of list,
That
right?
I find it ironic that you're going to pick the best out of that year.
Yeah, it's like it's like even though it was like a kind of a terrible year by all accounts, and I'm not gonna argue that at any rate. There were still lots and lots of comics. I mean, even though comics stopped shipping for like 2 whole months in 2020, there was still a lot of stuff like to pick from here. It's like and it's like when I started making my list here, it's like I started like pulling out, hey, this sounds like a worthy like addition to like the best of list. Just picking up the stuff. I realized like, wow, it's like I came up with like so much stuff here that it's like, wow, I'm kind of surprised that like, hey, this year produced so much good stuff because, well, even though it's like this is like kind of a terrible year by any accounts, by any reasonable metric, it's like there were still lots of great comics as well, like to be experienced as well. Oh, and some terrible stuff as well. But like we're gonna like focus on like the best of stuff right here, and like I just want to like kick things off with like the honorable mentions, stuff that was like was really quite good, but just not quite good enough to make the best of list. And I want to start with Once in the Future Volume One, Kieron Gillen and Dan Mora's exploration of it's like a British history with a mix of Indiana Jones. It's like and it was like this first volume was like lots of fun. It's like even though it's like positioned like the main character's like grandmother as being a terrible person, that was actually more of a feature than a bug, and I really appreciated that. Also, there was Star Wars, Doctor Aphra, Simon Spurrier's like dark and twisted exploration of like the weird corners of the Star Wars universe, and we took this like this weird it's like supporting character who made her debut in Kieran Gillen's um Darth Vader series, and like it's like he just like went and just like turned like started like asking like some hard dark questions about her. It's like and they turned out to be like really fun and really interesting in itself. And also next was Pulp from like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. And to be honest, the real trick here, real difficult thing here was to determine like what like series from Brubaker and Phillips to include here. It's like as far as like what's the best we got from 2020 because they had a really banner year of stuff that they delivered in trade paperback form. And Pulp, like their story of an old it's like an old outlaw turned pulp writer turned social justice warrior circa 1940 1930 I mean it's like was like had a lot to say about our present day, but did it in a way that like spoke to its like its own present present adventurous era, and I really like that. Then there was Deceased Unkillables. While DC finally got their Marvel Zombies in Tom Taylor and Trevor Hairston's Deceased miniseries, Deceased Unkillables was also written by Taylor, had art from Carl Mostert, and was focused on what were the bad guys doing during during this anti-life zombie outbreak, and it turned out to be something that was a lot more clever, a lot more inventive, and a lot more fun than you would expect from from the setup of just, what would the heroes do? It's like in this like superhero universe zombie outbreak. It's like and then there's also Undiscovered Country on Volume One, which is a surprising like image launch from Charles Soule, Scott Snyder, and Giuseppe Camicoli. It's like that basically asked what happened if like America built the wall and then like walled itself off from the rest of the world, and then what happened when the world had to go in over the wall and in order to like find out what is America in order to like save themselves from the terrible outbreak that had sprung up in the meantime. This is like a great. This was like like it has these like these highfalutin like ideals. It's like it's the series itself was borrowed much more from like something like Mad Max Fury Road, instead of an America gone feral. It's like in the intervening decades, and set up some interesting mysteries in the meantime. I appreciated that, as I did Death or Glory Volume 2 from Rick Remender and Bengal. While Remender's like ode to like the open roads and like the life lived off the grid, we're just kind of like, yeah, it's like I couldn't really like care that much for it. Volume 2 had some of the absolute best action I've seen in comics in a long time. I mean, like when you're talking about like, hey, it's like this series is like a mix of like Fury Road and XXX. It's like like no, it's like you want to say like this series is a mix of Death or Glory Volume 2 and XXX. So because it's like the action, this is action on the page. It's like that Remender and Bengal like delivered was amazing, and it's something that I recommend to like anyone who loves like reading like good action comics. I mean, like it would have made the top 10 if it weren't for the fact that I think the story is just kind of like, eh, just like hey, like hey, living off the grid is better than living on the grid. Who knew? Oh, and then there's also like John Constantine, Hellblazer, Volume 1, Marks of Woe. I've been waiting years for us to get a good, John Constantine, mature readers like Hellblazer series back. And Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell and company, it's like they delivered that with this volume. And it's like as much as I love it, the only reason it's not getting on the top 10 list is because I think that the whatever they're doing, that what they've got in store for Volume 2 is probably going to be better. It's like better than that, better than what we got here. I mean, like it's kind of disappointing that like that Spurrier said he had plans for like going further than like 12 issues, but then like DC's plans for that just well it's like it's kind of like impressive that DC is still publishing comics like as it is, and hey, if they want to do more like mature readers John Constantine comics, then hey, like I would love to see them like give them to like give them back to Spurrier so he can continue what he was doing here. But still, this is just the honorable mention stuff. The real good stuff starts with my top 10. And at number 10 is Superman Up in the Sky by Tom King and Adam Kubert. Yeah, sometimes the story can get ponderous, as is Tom King's wont, and the art can be a bit stiff, like with Adam Kubert and all. But even then, both creators both have a great idea of how to show you how Superman at his most dynamic and inspiring. Like it's a story about like Superman going into the it's like into outer space to save one girl who was kidnapped by by some like mysterious entity, and it's just showing you how like Superman is just not going to give up in the face of any um any obstacle that he faces, whether it's gonna be like a intergalactic boxer. It's like the data collected by the Zeta beam. It's like or Dark Side, like demanding that hey, like if you're gonna I know where the girl is, but you're gonna like you're going to fall. You're going to be like disgrace yourself in order for me to tell you. So it's basically a story like it's basically several stories of how Superman like will not quit, will not compromise. It's like in any aspect of his being in order to like do right by us all. It's like it's like and it's also a collection of the 12 issue 12-part story that was like told in the Superman giant issues that were like originally solicited to Walmart, which I gotta admit it's kind of impressive and all. So like it's a series that like tells you like individual stories that work on their own terms and an overall story that works on its own term, and I really enjoyed it. So better still was number 9, Marauders by Jerry Dugan, Matteo Loli, Stefano Caselli, and a bunch of other guys as well. Um, I loved like a lot of the stuff that like the X Men titles were doing. It's like over the past year. Means like I think that the relaunch that Jonathan Hickman started with House of X and Powers of X is still like delivering like lots of dividends here. But as far as like the best X title goes, it's not X Men. Even though I think that individual stories that Hickman did in X Men were arguably better than what was done here. Marauders, it's basically the story of Kitty Pryde and her and her pirate crew trying to do their best to like deliver deliver like other mutants to the sanctuary of Krakoa, and and Kitty also like dealing with her own issues with like not being allowed onto Krakoa, like, well, due to her like facing powers, which we don't find out until later. But it's also like at its core, it's a fun, great pirate story, and and it shows that Jerry Dugan, it's like even if like he wrote that like terrible Deadpool story that ruined my interest in him running the character for years, and if his Infinity Wars like storyline was just kind of like even if like it showed that he does have talent as a writer. Marauder showed that, hey, you know what? Like this guy like, actually like he may be like, just like all over the place, but this is something that like is all over the place above the board. It's like, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where things go from here. It's like even if like Hickman's X Men holds the key to what he's doing, like Marauders is most purely enjoyable. And but as far as like Superman stories go, well, there's one Superman adjacent story that I really truly enjoyed, and I'll write about it like eventually, and that is Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. This is basically Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber being let loose upon the DC universe with like I mean Jimmy Olsen has history with like Superman and all. I mean he's like the photographer for the Daily Planet, but Fraction and Lieber basically revisit him as just like the guy who's like the purest link to Superman's like crazy like Silver Age stuff. Like the first issue basically has like Jimmy Olsen like diving in like to Metropolis from space, but then being turned into it's like it's like a lizard it's like a lizard it's like what is it it's like a lizard like turtle to smash a monument erected by Lex Luthor that is also like holding up his plans to modernize Metropolis. It's goofy, really weird fun, but at the same time, it shows that that Fraction's his skills really lie is like in just like running wild with like C and D list characters from Marvel and DC, because it's like it's like he does some like crazy stuff with Jimmy here, and it's a lot of fun. It's like, and it's also kind of the perfect mic drop for him as well, because I honestly don't see him doing anything else with DC as well after this. I mean, if he had, like, well, we'd have heard about it by now, right? Right? Okay, but yeah, it's like I loved like Superman's House Jimmy Olsen, and even if it's the only thing we get from Matt Fraction working in the DCU, it's like it is glorious as it is. And after that, though, number 7 is Chainsaw Man. Now, I'll be honest with you. If Tatsuki Fujimoto's Fire Punch had wrapped up in 2020, then I may have included that. But Chainsaw Man is his glorious dumb ode to the slasher movie, to the Shonen Jump story of, hey, there are demons in the real world, and oh, there's a secret demon hunting organization out there that's set to take them out. Well, this is him doing his spin on that, and it's dumb, it's stupid, and it is like true to the spirit of any like person who's in touch with their inner 15-year-old. And I really enjoyed that. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's committed to its like to its like puerile intent. It's like and Denji is just like a guy who like he is someone who just like his goal in life is to touch boobs at first, and then when he but the thing is he eventually realizes that goal. Then he's eventually inspired to a new like quote unquote deeper goal after that, which like I want to know where that goes, and all. As dumb as it is, as dumb as it is. So, but after that is my number six pick. And that is Batman White Knight, because hey, God knows like there are so many Batman comics published like last year. There's so many Batman comics published every year. Batman White Knight, however, is the rare Batman comic that is dedicated to tearing down the Bat mythos, and it's like and just like telling us like what can we like do after that? Because like I thought the first volume of White Knight was it was entertaining, but it kind of I don't think it went far enough and just like something like an alternate universe Batman story. But White Knight basically just like asked hard questions about what Batman was set out to do, and then like shows a Batman who was willing to burn down his own mythos, like in order to like make a better world, and also like a Harley Quinn who's willing to work with him in order to do that. And I really want to see like where Sean Murphy takes this series, and he's going, and we'll see that with the not with like the inevitable like White Knight Volume 3, but with the White Knight Harley Quinn miniseries that is also being serialized as we speak right now. So yeah, that like I am all for great Batman stories, and this one, like I said, just it's tearing down what we know about Batman, and I can appreciate that right now. On a different note, however, is something that I really enjoyed and I really want to see more of, and I'm putting it here because God damn it, anyone who's listening to this, like tell your friends, tell two of your friends, tell three of your friends to buy more of Mob Psycho 100. My number six pick, sorry, my number five pick. God damn it, I'm not paying attention to what I've written on the front of my screen right here. But the story of a mob, the like the unassuming kid who's got like psychic powers, but who will disperse them like when she gets to like 100% psychic distress. Well, it's like the story is just kind of like all about showing what does it mean to be like a good person. It's like and while Mob like is trying to be that person, but the thing is like his influence has become from it's like a con man, Reagan, his boss, who has no psychic powers, but bills himself as a as an S rank level exorcist. No, a level 131 rank like exorcist. But the volumes of Mob Psycho 100 we got like this year basically like delivered lots of like grade A rank Shonen Jump fighting stuff. I mean, anytime you can deliver like a like a smashing fight scene that doesn't take a whole volume to deliver. All due respect to certain volumes of One Punch Man we got during this year as well, but One Punch Man, Mob Psycho 100 delivered lots of like great action. It's like and also it's like a good moral core as well. Like with the most recent volume, like I'm showing you how Mob realizes that hey I can't if I can't use my psychic powers against people because it's going to hurt them. What do I do with them? Well, it's like he's gonna leave them to the one person who can do this, and that's Reagan. It's like and it's like and even then like Reagan it's like for even if he's just kind of like he's a con man. He's a con man with like an actual moral core to his being, and I really liked seeing just hey what can we do with like if we've got like a good moral like core to our like to being, what can we do with that? It's like and Reagan just he may not be like the most like likable guy, but he is someone who's like who I can believe in. It's like and someone I would have no problems following in terms of like his moral compass and all, such as it is. And then after that, number four is something that like I was kind of surprised like find myself following, and that is Redneck by Donny Cates and Lissandro Esteran. Prior to this to 2020, Redneck was a series that I was just willing to buy. Like, hey, what when I need to make up the like like the buy the buying quota, like at say at Comic Con, or like, hey, in order to meet a certain like discount threshold, then yeah, I'd buy the series. But when I got Redneck Volume 3, it's like I got a story that showed that showed like what like like what happens to like this family. It is a family of vampires who originally made their living like in a barbecue and in Texas, and then things went bad for them. But with Volume 3, it's like things we find out how like things are going. Things like after things had gone bad for them, it's like we got how they went to like rebuild their lives and become like a proper family again. It's like, and there were some surprises as well, such as like the time jump that showed like one of its main characters like marrying like a woman who he had done wrong, and it turned out to and he got to know again in the course of the series, and things had gone right again. And then and then things went really bad at the end of that volume. And then when we got to Volume 4, it's like, oh man, it's like it was just like the drama just kept turning and churning, like showing you like how the good guys are like were forced to do bad things, and the bad guys are forced to were doing how the bad guys are doing like things that they thought were good for their own perspective. It's like, and like with in Volume 4, there's this one moment where it's like where like the good vampire family just like like one of their guys just he feels that, hey, like I'm gonna like team up with like this ancient vampire clan that does that we can't quite trust. But then the granddad goes, okay, yeah, I understand you're gonna do this, but it's like here, and I'm gonna give you the means in order to do that. But at the same time, like, I understand what you're doing, but I don't think it's right. It's like it's one of those moments where you think like, oh man, there should be like fighting, it's like and bloodletting and like craziness and all. But it's just a matter of like one one member of the family letting them know that, hey, I understand you got to do what you got to do, but I don't believe in it, and then doing it without just raising their voice, and that's kind of powerful. It's a it's something that I didn't expect, and even if Donny Cates decided to burn down the set school he set up like multiple times like after that, it's like I gotta admit it was unexpected, but it felt like unbelievable as well. And like I'm really looking forward to reading the next volume, which is coming out in March. And after that, well, man, it's like I want to know what's going to happen next. Oh, but so be sure to buy that, and also be sure to buy volumes of Mob Psycho 100, because I really don't know if Dark Horse is going to continue to publish new volumes now that they've reached Volume 6. Please buy new volumes of Psycho 100, please. But as far as like talking about like a manga whose series I think is like features assured, aside from its like overall like, hey, this series is like really good, and also it's got an automated that's like winning new fans with each installation. Well, we've got Golden Kamui, the story of like not just one man, Immortal Sugimoto, who is trying to like help this Ainu, this indigenous Hokkaidan girl, it's like a Serpa, try get the gold that's been entrusted to her. It's like to her tribe. It's like, well, this is a series that just like delivered one of its like most game changing like installments with it's like over the year with Volume 14, as it just like showed what happened when it's like when the crew burst into the prison that was holding Serp's dad, and how everything went wrong. It's like in in the course of the fight, but it also delivered like like some just like really like incredible moments where Sugimoto met with the Serpent's dad and got some important news before the guy was killed by some people that we thought were on our side. It's like, and there was just like so much like crazy stuff that happened here. It's like from the not just from the fight, but then from finding out that a Serpent's dad was like part of the Russian Revolution that killed the Tsar that set off World War I. It's like, or when Sugimoto and his crew had participate in a it's like it's like in a Rush it's like in a circus act that was being run by an actual spy for the Japanese army. It's like it's a series just like that just like delivers like crazy like plot twists and really it's like over the top action as well. It's like and it's something that just and even then like even as it delivers all these like crazy stuff, it also has a clear um it's a clear direction of where it's going as well. Because even if like the series is going have diverge into some plot lines where oh my god they're gonna fight a Wolverine who maybe not is even the best at what he is at what he does, or when they fight in Russian wall fighting Stenka. It's like Immortal Sugimoto like goes into his own berserker rage. It's still entertaining. It's still fun. It's like and I really enjoyed it to the point where it's like I had no problem running a week where I did 4 volumes of Golden Kamuy the reviews in 1 week. And funny about that, I got volumes reviews of volume 18 and 19 to run at some point as well. But I've got no qualms running them because volumes 18 and 19 there's still more proof why the series wound up at number 3 in my ranking here. But as far as what got in ranking number 2, well, it's like there's one team that I would think that hey if you're gonna wonder who's gonna get recognition at this in my top 10 list, it would be Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. But it's more of a question of what volume from Brubaker and Phillips was going to run up here because hey, I mean I already mentioned Pulp, so that's obviously not going to be it. But what about Reckless, or what about Cruel Summer, the actual volume 8 of Criminal, and so because these guys have done consistently great work over the years, and I love what they've done, and I was gonna say, and when it came down to saying what volume of their work actually deserved a spot in my top 10, well, it was going to be the one that I did a podcast about, and that is yes, Cruel Summer is number 2 pick of the year because the story of Teague Lawless and the time that he fell in love, and the tragedy that resulted from that. This is even it's volume 8 of Criminal even doesn't say it on its spine, and it's a series and it's a volume that basically turns Criminal into a perfect circle. Of crime stories. I mean, if Brubaker and Phillips never do another Criminal story after this, I think that the series is the series reputation is rock solid. It's just I mean it Cruel Summer just fills in a lot of gaps. It's about what we knew about the Lawless family. It's and even though we some of the things we had heard about, it's we could have filled in before that. It's just seeing them here. Is just a revelation. It's it basically tells us how Ricky Lawless turned into the self-destructive character that we knew from his passing way back in volume 2. It tells us how how Leo how how Leo the guy who always had the perfect out for anything just developed that. It's like in the moment where he killed where he killed Teague. It's like and just how we knew that Teague was just was just too too angry, too vicious to live. It's based on what we've heard about him up to this point, and this series just kind of spills it out. It's like if you hadn't gotten to that point as well. So yeah, it's like Cruel Summer. Like even though it's kind of it's billed as its own thing. It's basically the connecting point to Criminal. Like it's basically just turning Criminal into its own self-connected story, and like anything else that American films do are just going to add to that, as opposed to just completing it. But another series, you know, also kind of did that on its own terms as well, or rather, it's like it just basically showed that yeah, it's like you don't have to be the creator of a series in order to so that you can push it forward on its own terms as well. You can actually, if you've got a good solid plan, it's like you can take a series that, while not creator owned, was purely identified through one creator. It's like and it's like and drive it forward on its own terms, and doing it like in the sense that hey, it's like just not in terms of like a pure franchise extension. Just hey, this is something that deserves it's like it deserves like talented creators pushing it forward, like as far as things go. So yeah, so and I guess what I'm saying here is if you remember what I said about The Dreaming by Simon Spurrier, Bill Key Everly, and the creators like Abigail Larson and Matthias Bergara, then yeah, my best pick for number one pick for the year is The Dreaming, because like the Sandman is one of my favorite comic book series of all time. It is still number two behind Nausicaa, the Valley of Wind. If you're going to try and add something to that, well, you better step up, motherfucker. Because if you don't, like, I'm just gonna like throw your ass down to the worst of the year. I'm gonna tell you, it's like you're nothing. It's like you're just like terrible. It's like, why are you even trying this? Simon Spurrier, however, is the kind of guy who is not going to stand for a it's like very simple reinvention of the same mythos. Like he has got a plan for what for what Daniel the Sandman stands for, and what people are going to try and do with him as well. Like what are corporations have planned for him? Like what are they going to do with The Dreaming? It's like and what he does here, it's like it's impressive. It's like it just shows you just like what just the need for imagination, like for creativity. It's like in a world that's arguably is trying to snuff those out or appropriate them for its own means. It's like I love what he did here, and it's like even though it's like I said, it's just like 20 issues of of the series. It's like he told a good, complete, cohesive story here. It's like, and I think it's a very worthy addition to the Sandman mythos. Like if you look at the Sandman mythos and you think oh, this is something that can only be added to by Neil Gaiman, nope. I think that that Spurrier shows that you can add to it as well. That if you've got a good, solid plan, and you know what you're doing here. To that end, I am very much looking forward to what G. Willow Wilson and Nick Robles are doing with their maxi series, Sandman Waking Hours as well. So, but basically, The Dreaming shows you can go home again, and I know there are a lot of Sandman fans out there. So, hey, it's like, and if you're like feeling apprehensive about like, oh no, it's like someone's adding to the mythos. Well, no, don't worry about it. Spurrier knows what he's doing and he's got you covered. But like after that, what happens if the hadn't worked? What about the worst of the year? Like what about stuff that hadn't quite people hadn't quite like displayed the level of imagination that you got with that series? Well, then you get stuff like Star Wars Target Vader by Robbie Thompson and a whole bunch of artists that are dedicated to like trying to make like 80s era Marvel like Star Wars Cyborg Baylor Valance a thing. And no, it's like that didn't work. It was just kind of like the overall story was boring, and the fact that they had like five other artists like thrown at the series in order to like deliver on time was like really disappointing. Um, then you've got like and then there's stuff like Joker Killer Smile by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Yes, it looked visually stunning thanks to Sorrentino, but Jeff Lemire, who was this writer who I believe has done good work in the past, but now it's like everything he does just kind of feels blah. It's like just familiar and it's like and by the book and like reading Killer Smile. It's like you get the like 3 issue like main series and then what follows after that. It's like oh man, it's like I thought I could have done something better. I know I couldn't have, but like when you leave with that feeling, like that's never a good sign. Neither is the fact that with like Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Malee's event Leviathan, which took 2 issues of story about who is Leviathan and spun it out into 6, which was like a depressing it's like and like unentertaining like feat, like to the point where like once we finally found out who Leviathan was, we realized that oh wait, you should have like revealed this in issue 2, so that we could actually like had some reason to care about who this character was. There, so that's it. And then there's like stuff like Inyo Asano's Downfall, which was like the creator just like pontificating about the difficulty of creating manga, but also delivering us a like a relatively uninspiring manga in itself. And and then there's also like Tsutomu Niha's Downfall, which after 4 volumes, I realized that like I guess like a creator who just like who had been pursuing like his own weird muse like the series like Blam, Biomega, and Second Knights of Sidonia had finally succumbed to like the bland siren call of the mainstream with the series. Just like some like a guy who's weird, unknowable use just delivered um like a bland it's like a bland like science fiction action series. But still, like that compares nothing to my absolute worst pick for the worst here. That is Gigant by Hiroya Oku. He is a guy who's been interested with this like 15-year-old like through the science fiction action series Gantz, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and also Inuyashiki, which is a series that's all about like hey you young kids get off my lawn, and it's like Gigant is all about like like the your 15-year-old who gets to have sex with that porn star that he always liked. Oh, but it turns out that this porn star is able to turn herself into a giant in order to fight off the aliens that are attacking Earth. Which, okay, sure, and really, it's like Gigant is here because even after I read volume 1, I was kind of like I was disappointed, but I figured like okay, well, he's the guy who wrote Gantz, so maybe he's got some plans here. And then volume 2 realized that oh well, like okay, you got a giant porn star fighting giant monsters. Okay, volume 3 basically shows you that hey, it's like the in order to get anything you want with this series, it's like you gotta cry. It's like you got to be like the main character who just like cries after the porn star won't sleep with him in volume two, or the porn star who just like realizes that, oh my god, I've slept with this like underage kid and his parents are calling me out. It's like what? Uh, it's it's a series that expects you to take ridiculous stuff seriously, and it's really disappointing. I mean, like I talk about series that like that are entertaining if you're in touch with your inner 15-year-old, like say heroic, like say uh what am I talking about here? Akira Hiramoto's it's like Raw Hero, it's like or even his definitive series Prison School. It's like just like hey, if you're able to take those series seriously, then it's like then then you're gonna get some fun out of them. Like if you're in touch with a 15-year-old, but Gigant just makes me ashamed that I'm in touch with my inner 15-year-old. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm in touch with my inner 15-year-old if it means liking series like this, but I don't like series like this. So I guess it's all right. Well, no, because Gigant is terrible. It's like and nobody should buy it. It's like and if I hear more people talking about it as being their worst read of like last year, then yeah, I can believe that. Okay, but it's like don't want to end on like the worst of worst of the year because like there's still like reasons to be hopeful for next year. Stuff like the end of Ajin, which I think is going to happen not maybe with volume 16, maybe with volume 17. I don't know, but like it feels. But the last time I read, volume 16 felt pretty penultimate as well. Same with like the currently serialized version of volume of American Vampire, which is basically this has just been extended to volume 10. Sorry, issue 10, like from Scott Snyder and it's like and Raphael Albuquerque and it's like and friends. So whether or not it actually is the end of the series, I really want to know. So it's like and I hope that it's good because the series has been kind of uneven, but like but I appreciate the fact that they're finally like getting around to delivering like the final like a finale, proper finale for this series. And then there's Ten of Swords or X of Swords, like the first major X-Men crossover, like from the Hickman era, and it's also like aims to be the like like a series that like pushes the overall storyline that he's advancing from this era as well. It's like I will I've got this volume pre-ordered from Amazon, and as soon as like everything is wrapped up from as soon as it's wrapped up on Marvel Unlimited, I will likely be inviting Rob back to talk about this. Same goes with I will be inviting Myron back to talk about um the King in Black series from Marvel as well because like this is a series that's been spun out of Dunny Cates' Venom and it's something that I've enjoyed and it's like I've looked forward to following. It's like and King in Black is like is like the next major advancement of that storyline. I want to see where that goes. It's like where that goes from here. It's like oh, and also it's like because this is like a crazy year. It's like we're getting volumes of not getting new volumes of Vinland Saga, but we're also getting a new volume of Die Vergil there as well. So I am thoroughly looking forward to getting like finding out what's happening in those series as well because like the way things have gone for those series like they're published in 2-in-1 volumes from Kodansha. So I am very much looking forward to seeing what they've got like in store for us as well. And they'll be um like debuting in like the first semester of the year. So yeah, that's something I'm very much looking forward to. So yeah, like 2021, it's like it has a lot to look forward to. I mean, yeah, it's like it's not hard to improve over 2021. Sorry, over 2020 in general, but it's like hey, I think that like this next year like has promise and all. And I guess it's like 2020 was a giant trash fire, but I think that like the bar has been set so low that maybe like things will get a lot better like from here on out. At least I hope so. John, um, I don't know. It's like, do you think that things will get better from here on out and all?
Well, I guess that's a matter of perspective. Um, I like White Knight. I thought that that was an excellent title.
Yeah. So he's got his like Harley Quinn White Knight miniseries. So you're gonna be like interested in like checking that out when it's collected, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Are there any other like reasons you want to look that we should be looking forward to what 2021 has to offer? I mean, just the
Oh,
fact that it's not 2020.
well, uh, I don't want to already say that 2021 really hasn't started any better than 2020. So I'm going to just reserve my comment on that. So,
Well, we could still go see movies in theaters at this point right now in 2020, like right
mhm.
now. But I guess so. Like,
I'll
I,
hope for the best, but I hope for the
yeah,
best at the beginning of 2022. So, and I'm hoping that eventually things will start ironing themselves out. So that's my prediction. However, when it comes to the graphic novel front, yeah, I'm eager to look forward to see what creative things. I don't think last year was some kind of a drought for creativity when it comes to
good
media.
lord, I'll try to cut out for the honorable mentions at least. Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
there was still like this was not a drought year at least.
Yeah, exactly, and not to mention, we had some most excellent, and I know this is your comic podcast, but we've had some really good stuff that premiered itself on like streaming services, which may also be a new trend, that started last year, and we'll be
Which may
talking more about those, like things like the Mandalorian and such like that. So I think that
may be
that's gonna.
relevant to stuff we're talking about in like podcasts adjacent to this one.
Absolutely, you bet. So I think that while there was a lot of crappiness, I think that companies and people were really innovative. So this is my point of view, and things will change, and I think change is a good thing.
Indeed.
So do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
All right, next time is going to be that Cosmic Marvel, according to Donny Cates, because like he's a character, he's a writer who's like done a lot of stuff in this area, but he has not like done a whole lot of like ongoing stuff. But he's like provided a lot of stuff that like has been is going to be deeply influential to Marvel's cosmic side like going forward. And then after that, it's like I feel confident in saying like like there's gonna be like another podcast after that that I got going. It's like, and then it's gonna be like maybe like Gideon Falls by Jeff Lemire and Adrian Sorrentino, which I'm very much expecting to be a series that is carried at the end by its artist. But could I be wrong? Maybe. I really don't think so, but we'll see.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, later's.